Hudson, come on out. This is where we don't want Hudson near us. So before I forget, we're going to put the little doggy barricade, which he is very good at getting through, just to make it so Hudson doesn't make Hudson's homemade beer, Hudson's homemade contaminated beer.
Sorry, Hudson.
Okay, so what we're going to do here are a few things. We're going to be siphoning our beer carefully from the fermentation bucket into our bottling bucket. Early on, I'm also going to be taking a gravity reading, which we'll measure later, so I'm just going to have that ready. And so basically, I'm probably going to have to put this in here. And then the thing is, you don't want to put your siphon all the way down to the bottom intentionally, because you might stir up the trub that's in there. So you want to start a little higher, get the siphon process going, and then slowly lower it with the beer, kind of mindful that you want to stay above the bottom. And as you do this, you might see that there's a little cloudiness coming in, then right away lift the siphon. That means you've probably gone a little too low. So the challenge here is, I'm going to do this, but I also want to take a reading. This was a little challenging to do by myself, but we'll do it. So we're going to put this in here gently. And so what we're going to do, and this is the challenging part, this is where having your wife, is it possible that you might be able to hold with one hand this just for a bit?
Mm-hmm.
And make sure it doesn't come out, that's all.
Oh.
Alright. So we have beer coming out. And we're going to leave that. And what I'm going to try to do is get a gravity reading while this is happening. Sorry about that. I'm just going to hold this first.
Do I need to hold this though?
Yeah, actually what I'm going to do is somehow get this here. Less than perfect performance there, but basically, without that many hands, I really wanted to get that reading for later. The rest of this will go flawlessly because what we have now is a nice, smooth siphon process. Notice there's no splashing because the hose is already in there at the bottom. And I keep the siphon pretty high up in the beer here. I just want to keep it as calm as possible so we don't disturb the bottom. My last batch I kind of got a little sloppy and shook up the trub a bit, and probably 2 or 3 full 12 ounces of beer that I would have gotten I ended up not taking out because it was just too disturbed and cloudy. But this batch, I think we were doing really good here. Pretty dark batch too, look at that. Alright, so towards the end what I'm trying to do is, without getting the trub, I'm tilting it gently just to get a little more liquid here before the siphon starts hitting air.
There's a lot of sediment.
Yeah, and we're avoiding that. But I'm not going to dip into it. We're about to lose it. That's it. And that's it. See? Definitely didn't want to get this stuff because look at that. Whoa, look at that. That's all trub we don't want. And that was a very good job of getting all the beer out without the trub, I think. So what we're going to do now is move on to the next step, which is first gently covering this because I just want to minimize any risk of anything going in there. And then we're actually going to transplant this up to our bottling area, which is basically our kitchen counter. I'll clean that later. So this is going to go all the way up here. So what I need here is a nice area for the bottling hose to go. Slip that away. And then this is basically the bottling station. So what we'll be doing here is filling bottles, racking a whole bunch here, and then switching to cap mode. So before we do this, I do want to get those caps. Just get them into a nice little bowl, a little easier to get to them. And again, just my own personal preference is I let them hang out in this thingamabob before. A lot of caps. Hopefully enough, because you want to have your caps ready, because otherwise you'll be up Schitt's Creek. So this one. You can touch it towards the top, just don't touch it towards the bottom, because that's going to be, well, actually it doesn't really matter, because the wand is really what matters. So don't go touching the bottom of the wand here. You're going to put your bottling wand pretty well into the hose, not too much. And then what you need to do, and again I'll just extra hose this just to be safe. Just kind of give us even another spray. Just because I feel like it. And now this is going to go on here all the way. So this has to go on all the way to the top, otherwise you tend to get leaks while you're trying to do this. Alright, so what we have here now is our beer ready to be bottled, our bottles ready to be filled, and our capper ready to kick some ass and do its capping. I might have to play with the adjustment in a minute or two, but we're going to start. So I'll get the sanitizer out of the way. Look at Hudson, he's really trying to get in here. Sorry, buddy. So cute. Alright, let's do this. So I'm just going to do a few and then switch to capping mode. So I'm taking my sanitized bottles and basically inserting the bottling wand. Hopefully this hose is going to be at the right setup. I'm just pressing down. Oh. And again, you have to turn this little thing. That's the magic valve, the on switch. And then, and always have another bottle ready. Because what you're going to see is as you do this, once it gets filled, you definitely want to have another bottle ready to transfer this wand into with minimal spillage. Because there's always a little spillage. At least with my bottle wand, it doesn't really stop 100%. You see there's the beer. It's going, and you just stop when it gets right to the top. Because what happens is then you naturally, as you raise that out, leave just enough space of air for the carbonation process. And then we switch to our next bottle. And while it's going, we get another one ready. It's kind of like an assembly line here. This beer looks mighty good. I'm really looking forward to having this one. One thing I forgot to show is I always get a little bit of olive oil. Extra virgin, of course. Just a touch. Because you want to grease the inside of this cap. This capper, just to make it even less likely that the caps get sticky, because it's happened to me a bit. And then without further ado, take one of your sanitized caps, pop it in there. Let's see if we're at the right height here. We are. I cap down, I wiggle it a little, gently come up. I rotate mine 180 degrees and give them another nice firm press. That's it, one down. Hopefully many more to go. We got a pretty good volume on this batch, so looking forward to filling those 2 cases and then some, hopefully. You definitely want your caps on well, make sure they're on straight. Okay, finally all the bottles are filled and the results are here on this table. What happened is I almost had 2 cases exactly of the 22s. I was 1 bottle short, well, actually about half a bottle short of having exactly 2 cases. And that's accounting for the gravity reading sample that I took, which probably is why I don't have all those bottles, but overall pretty good fill. So what I'm going to do now is take a hydrometer reading to get my final gravity. And basically, I think I overfilled it, so we're going to see if this spills a bit. I'm going to have to pour some out. But basically, I'm going to get this reading and compare it to, let's see, well, that's going to totally spill. So let me just do the inevitable. I'm going to have to pour some of this out into here anyway. And if that's too much, I'll pour it back. Let's see. Alright, that's going to settle a bit. It looks like we're at 1.025 or 1.026. Yeah, it's going to be hard to focus on that, but I'm seeing that. 1.026. So I'm looking forward to doing the math after this to find out how strong this is. What I'm also looking forward to doing is taking a bottle conditioned sip of this beer just to see what it's like. It smells pretty good. Just kidding. Alright, so it definitely has a vanilla because we had 3 vanilla beans in there. Pretty strong. It's going to have time to carbonate and condition in the bottles. I think that's going to be pretty interesting. It's my first imperial stout. Imperial-ish stout, again, not really sure exactly what the content or strength is here, but that was a pretty good batch. Now the fun part is going to be cleaning, and I'll spare you the details of that, but the kitchen looks like a bomb went off in there, and maybe I'll let Hudson do the cleaning, and I'll just hang out and drink this. But so that's it. That was our bottling day. Oh, one other